Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. My name is Spirit. This is a reading for Libra for the month. I'm uploading it in September, but not necessarily just for this month. I hope you're all doing well. This is the deck I'm using for this month. It is the Sacred Traveler deck. If I am compelled to use other decks in the reading, I will show them to you and explain to you what the deck means. What I normally do, like I said, is I shuffle the deck and wait for the cards to fall out, and if I'm compelled to pull any other cards, I will do so at that time. If you are interested in scheduling a private reading, tipping for this reading if it resonates for you, or donating to the channel or to me, you could check out all my socials and my information below. I also have a Twitch channel that I do readings, 3 to 4 card readings on Friday nights at 9 Central Time, or you could subscribe over there as well and get free emotes and different things over there, as well as my Patreon channel, my Patreon page, where I have, I think, 8 different offers for subscribers where you can donate to my page. And you get a plethora of readings and different things over there as well, depending on what you can afford. So, let's see what we have for you, Libra. And if you hear the noise behind me, I have 2 dogs. If you don't already follow me and you're new to the channel, I have 2 dogs that sometimes come in and out of the room, or I have to pause the video. I don't do a lot of editing. I like to offer you a near and dear video, like, you know, like we're just sitting down at the table and I'm doing a reading for you. Now, when I do private readings, I only do private readings with videos. However, I will do a reading one-on-one, like through Skype, if I'm requested. However, I don't do those very often because when you channel information from spirit or from the afterlife or from source, it's hard to do that with someone sitting with you because people will interrupt you a lot of the times, and sometimes you may miss information. And not that I don't do that, because I've done parties before and one-on-ones before. It's just I prefer the video recording. You get more for your donation. And if you have any questions, it's not like I cut you off like some readers do, where they'll just do the reading and then that's the end. If you have like something to follow through on, like small, that's not a huge question, I could do that as well. All right, it looks like some cards fell out. We're going to take those. So we're going to line these up, and I promise I will show them to you as I read them. And I will explain everything to you. The way I read is I'm not a tarot reader. I've never been a tarot reader. I am a spirit medium. I connect to the other side, the afterlife. I walk with those who have passed on, my spirit guides, your spirit guides as the client, and angels, etc. Okay? So let's look at these cards. Oh, I got one of the cards I have never gotten before that is actually so beautiful. I can't wait to show it to you. So let's take a moment. I'm going to burn a little more sage while we're sitting here. Clear the air. If I can get this lighter to work. I ask Spirit and Source to help me to give the message that I need to give to Libra. Just want to cleanse it a little bit. All right, here we go. I got a lot of crystals sitting here too, so it's like very energetic in here right now. Very, very energetic. Now, when you see videos here and on Patreon and also on my Twitch, you'll see my face. Here, you'll probably see a variety of readings like this, and then my face. It just depends on the mood and what's going on. I am going to be offering on this channel more love readings, pick a card, and I'm also going to consider doing live readings either on YouTube here or on Facebook. I wanted to see where the clients and people that follow me want me to do it. I know there's a ton of interest on Facebook. I just wasn't sure if people would rather have it here on YouTube or on Facebook. So, and I prefer to go through like the tipping process, because I get a lot of people who reach out to me after they watch a YouTube video or after I do a card reading on Twitter or on Twitch, asking how they can donate. And I don't ever give them a firm price unless they want me to do a private reading. So what I usually let them know is they can donate and tip, or they can go to my Amazon wish list, which I've gotten amazing oracle card decks from people as a gift for doing a reading for them. So it just depends on where you want to do that for these free readings. Now, if you want to schedule a specific reading for you, that you can either do through the monthly service on Patreon, or you can do on Twitch as a subscriber, or you can do by contacting me at any of my social media sites. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I have a current website that actually is under construction. Here you can contact me as well. So, all right, let's see what we have for you. I feel like this traveling one needs to come first before this one. So I'm going to move these because I'm being told that's not how they fell out. So right now I feel like, Libra, you are very, very chaotic, meaning your thought pattern, your scheduling of things, you're very chaotic. Chaotic energy I keep getting. What I mean by chaotic is like all over the place, like someone who's OCD, where like everything is crazy, right? When things are put out of place, you go crazy. Like you just, that energy. I feel like you need to really settle yourself and travel lightly. And it doesn't necessarily mean travel, even though the card says travel. So what I feel like is the example they're giving me is like, let's say you have a few children and you feel like you're pulled in 50 different directions to do stuff. You know, a lot of parents do this, where the energy they're showing me is like you have baseball or football with one kid and wrestling with another kid, and it's like constantly running around. I completely understand that. However, Spirit is telling me to tell you to slow down, that life is so short that you're missing the precious moments by running around like that and not ever stopping. So what that tells me is that you need to either, one, take care of yourself and do more for yourself, because in the end, if you don't take care of yourself, what good are you going to be to the ones that love you, right? If you end up getting sick or exhausted or have anxiety or whatever the case may be. I also feel like maybe along the way, and this is a really tough message to bring to you, but along the way, somehow your faith has been a little less than strong. And they're telling me to tell you to trust in your divine plan. Trust in your soul. Trust in your path. Trust in your, whatever that path is leading you to. Trust in that. Have faith that wherever you end up, it's where you're supposed to be. A lot of people have a really hard time with this concept, me included. Sometimes we just lose that oomph, I call it, to push through to get to the other side, to get to that goal. I know I do. I know I've been heavy in a lot of negative energy over the years. And faith is one of those ones that a lot of people don't realize we take for granted. We really do. Now, I have to tell you, this next card is an amazing card for anyone that's getting a reading to get. I think it's amazing because it's the Phoenix. It's that reborn card. It's a fresh new way of having things, of living a different way. This is the Phoenix. This means that you recently went through so much shit, and that's what I'm going to call it, that you're going through a rebirth. It's almost like your cells in your body are regenerating. It's almost like you're reborn. It's almost like you can sit down right now and look at your life from 6 years ago and realize that, holy crap, I have changed so much. And you're evolving into the person you're meant to be. And you're still going through that right now. So this is a great sign that's saying, keep pushing through. You're doing wonderful. And what's funny for me as a reader, as an intuitive, is that it comes out next to the Embracing Enthusiasm card, which is your shout to the heavens with happiness. Meaning, if you do everything I just told you to do, if you embrace things, if you take your faith back, if you start to look at things for the little moments and not the materialistic stuff, not saying that you do, this is the simple things. For me, I used to be very wrapped up in everything around me. Doing for others all the time, never doing for myself, looking for unconditional love that I never got as a child or from a relationship, and people that just could not give me that, right? Wondering why people always disappeared, why I have abandonment issues. I mean, I could tell you a slew of things that I've gone through this last year that most people could never survive, and I just kept pushing through. And this card embraces that image for me because it's the little things now that I appreciate so much more than I ever did. I was never really living. I wasn't looking at the small moments. Like when I came out of work the other day, I was stressed a little bit. I will admit it. Going into old energy, you know, getting that depression a little bit, wondering and scared of the future, you know, that stuff that we normally do because we're programmed that way. And when I got to my car, I stood there for a moment to take a breath before I got my key out. And this butterfly, I mean, we get dragonflies at work all the time, but this butterfly, who had like a little tiny tear in its wing, was fluttering around on the little bush by my car. There's like one little bush. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, look how beautiful that butterfly is. That's what this is reminding me of. And the butterfly flew over and landed on the antenna and looked at me and was just sitting there fluttering, even though it had this little break in its wing. And it was a monarch butterfly, which I don't really see monarchs that much where I live. I see other butterflies, like those really dark black ones, but I don't think I usually see monarchs that much. And I stood there, instead of rushing to get in my car, to rush in traffic to get home, I sat there and I just took it in for a moment. And I said, wow, look at the beauty in that butterfly. Such a simple life. They don't live very long. They migrate so long across so much danger to get wherever they need to be. And he's got this little damaged wing and he's still flying around happy. And it just made me realize how precious life is. So that message is something that needs to get through to you, is that the little moments are what count. Okay? The little moments. Everything is smooth sailing in the flow. Same thing. When you get into that groove, when you get into that vortex, when you get into that groove, you go into the groove. And you just know that you're on the right path once you accept that life is precious. And that not to be so hard on ourselves. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that would bring anyone's depression back. Anyone's anxiety, young people suffering. But also, too, we need to step away from media. We need to step away from the news. We need to step away from toxic people and believing everything we see and hear. Yes, the world is really difficult, but the world is difficult all the time, and it changes and evolves with whatever people are living in it. And yes, people die, and yes, animals are suffering and all that, and I'm not taking away from that. But when we, as empaths and sensitive people, take that all in and carry it every day, it's not doing us any good. I'm here to bring light and love to people, to help those people that I'm supposed to help, so that the world doesn't seem so heavy on their shoulders anymore. And in that, it heals me in the process. So whoever it is that's going to read this reading and really resonate with it, know that you're loved. Know that everyone is loved, and that once you embrace that, things are always going to get better. Then it does get better. I know the coronavirus is going on right now and it's tough for everybody. However, you need to be aware of what's around you and what's really going on. And I'm not saying I have a conspiracy theory at all. I'm just saying that when you embrace yourself in negative, toxic shit all the time, I'm not taking away from what's going on in the news, but when you saturate yourself in it, your body can't handle it and it breaks it down. It's a constant battle. And your health is what's important, because your loved ones, friends, family, animals, whoever, need you to be the healthiest and most positive person you can be in order to manifest your things that you want in your life. I've learned that the hard way. Now, this Finding Sanctuary card, the last one that fell out, it says opening to your spiritual source. Whoever I'm reading this for, the few groups of people that I'm reading this for, this means to find your space. This means to find where you need to go to have your own quiet time. Whether it's meditating, whether it's jogging, whether it's hiking, whether it's swimming, whether it's going to the gym, which I love, or, I don't know, going and spending time on the beach. The beach is very, very spiritual for me. It's very grounding, and it really helps me to recharge. I don't get to go as often because, you know, they closed it for a long time here. So, yeah, and with my work schedule, the weekends I'm super busy, so I feel like before I end this reading, I am going to, I think I'm going to pull a Vortex card. Okay, so if you guys don't already know this, Esther Hicks does a lot of videos on YouTube. And I followed her for a very long time, and I love this deck. It's inspirational messages for you, and I feel compelled to pull one for the reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the deck, and if a card falls out, we'll pick it and we'll do it. If 2 cards fall out, I'll keep them. If more than 2 cards fall out, I will throw it back in and keep shuffling. As I'm shuffling the deck, I just want to reiterate, if you're looking for any of my social media, it's below. If you want a more private reading, feel free to reach out to me at any of those. I do occasionally do free readings, like 1-card readings on Twitter. So if you're following me on Twitter, look for those. As well as my Twitch stream at 9 o'clock Central Time on Fridays. I do readings there, mini readings, like 3 to 5 cards usually. And yeah, my Patreon page, which you already know about. So let's see what happens here. If you do reach out for a private reading, please know that there are people that have scheduled readings before you, so it may be, depending on how many I get, a little ways out. Usually it's not longer than a week out, but it just depends on how many people reach out that week for readings. And I juggle my Patreon, but that's scheduled time set on every Saturday to do that, so that shouldn't interfere. If you want to tip or donate to the channel, feel free to do so. Everything's welcome. Amazon wishlist as well is listed in the description. I love the decks that I surprisingly get from subscribers from all my social media sites. The last one that I got was, let me think. It was a deck that I haven't really used much yet because I'm still bonding with it. What is the name of it? I don't remember now because I think I put it away to charge. I think it's a soul deck, another soul deck. There are so many great artists out there that make decks. I really want to create my own oracle deck for the type of reader I am, but I'm not a very good artist, so I need to collaborate with someone eventually. I'd love to do that. I have so many ideas. I actually even created a storyboard with the card meanings and all that, since I am not a tarot taught and I don't believe in the tarot, the general tarot, like most people. No judgment, I just don't go by that. Sometimes the cards don't want to fall out, which is funny right now. I've been shuffling these and no cards have fallen out yet. That sometimes happens. Now see, the group of cards fell out. 3. I'm not going to take 3. I'll take 2, but not 3. Alright, here we go. Come on, guys. Give me a card. There we go. We got 2 cards. That works for me. Okay, so I'm going to show you the front of the card, and then I'm going to read to you the definition of this card for you as it pertains to you. I'm going to pull the bottom one first. Wow. I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire. We were just talking about that. Show you. I'm going to show it to you again, but let me read it. If we were a parent or anyone wanting to inspire positive behavior from another, we would do our personal vibrational work first. We would align with our source energy by envisioning the outcome we seek and by holding those involved as positive objects of our attention. We would not allow any current unwanted behavior to be reason for our attention to them. Very, very, very beautiful card. The second card that fell out is stunningly beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen this card come out in a reading yet. It says, every relationship I establish is eternal. Okay, I want you to hear this. Every relationship I establish is eternal. What a freaking beautiful card. The infinity symbol, which I actually have, I don't think you could see on my arm. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, it is our desire that you come to remember that every relationship is eternal, and that once it has been established, it is part of your vibrational makeup forevermore, and that in your powerful now, where all that you have become converges with all that you are now becoming, you hold the power to create. And so your observation of a situation, wanted or unwanted, no matter how remote you believe yourself to be, makes you a co-creative partner of that experience. Wow, that's like a very strong message that's coming through for you today. What a beautiful card. I'm trying to get the glare out so you can actually see. Such a beautiful card. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Like I said, if you need to reach out to me on any of my social media, feel free to do so. I will be offering different types of readings through my Patreon as well, like I said, and I'm going to be doing some card showings on, Instagram, like I do on Twitter, maybe once a week. Maybe I'll post the same thing that I post on Twitter on Instagram for people to choose. I'm just working out the kinks. And thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a blessed day, and be good to yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.